guys, today I'm filming my speed reviews on all of the new makeup that I tried in May, and there were so many products. It's going to be a long video, so I will try to keep my thoughts brief. If you have any questions about anything in specific, please leave it down below. We have got some high-end dupes from Physicians Formula. These took so long to come to Ulta, but we have got the Butter Glow Bronzing Serum and the Butter Glow Contour Wand, and this is supposed to be duping the Drunk Elephant Debronzy Drops, and now there's like a million other dupes for it as well, and this is supposed to be duping the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. So starting with the bronzing drops, I do think that the dropper packaging actually works, which is wonderful compared to like the L'Oreal foundation, so that's great news. I think that this is a nice like warm tone shade that is pretty similar to Drunk Elephant. There is a little bit of shimmer in here, but it isn't super noticeable. I think that this is a really great mixer. The consistency is a little bit thinner than the Drunk Elephant. That one is more of like a gel, and this is like a liquidy gel. So I do think that this is a very good alternative. I do think this is something that'd be great to pick up, especially right now, actually, as we are transitioning into summer. If you don't want to buy a whole bunch of new foundations, this is also very customizable to help get your current foundation to match you. So I would really recommend that product. Then for the contour wand, I have the color Fair Light. This does come in 2 shades. Unfortunately, these only come in 1 shade, but this is what the contour wand looks like. Definitely more of a neutral warm bronzing shade. This is not a contour color, so in that regard it is not a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. Flower Beauty has one that is more of a cool tone, but I really do like this. I do think that it blends out really nicely. It looks very pretty. I feel like when I'm blending this, I'm noticing a bit more red on my skin, but I think it looks good. Some products that are too red don't look good on me. I think this is great, but as a bronzing wand, not a contour wand, so keep that in mind. But the formula is great. I don't find it to be patchy, and it's something that I think would be wonderful. However, I will say I've used it on top of my foundation some, but I've mostly been using this underneath, so of course it wouldn't be patchy if I'm using it underneath. But I like this one better than the Flower Beauty formula wise, and actually the color, because I don't really go more cool tone. But again, a bronzing wand, but a good product. And we have so many blushes. First would be the Flower Beauty Ultra Light Liquid Blush in Peachy. The packaging is much lighter than the actual color. This is really pretty. I do think that this looks really pretty, blends nicely. I put this on my cheek and then I tap out with a beauty blender. You also could put it on the back of your hand to really help make sure you get that even coverage, but this does have a nice glow to it, but it's not metallic. I actually do like this. I've not liked the highlight wand. The contour wand's a little bit better, and then this one I say is the best of the 3. So I do think that this is quite nice, but I did get one of the lighter shade options. And then I did decide to be a fancy pants and get the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pillow Talk, because so many people, especially State of Kate, have raved about this. And here is the color, and I apply it the same way. I tapped on my cheeks and blended out with a sponge. It's interesting because it like stained my sponge hot pink, but that's fine. It was like a white sponge. This is great. This blended really nicely, which I was so nervous about being a matte formula, and this is a really pretty color. I'm not going to buy the other ones, but I do like it enough to keep it. So if you want to be fancy and you got money to blow, I do think this is a nice product, and it is at Ulta now. The brand is at Ulta, so it'd definitely be good product to spend your points on. Next, we have the Kaja Dewy Bars, which are a cream lip and cheek product. And this is one of the best Kaja products that they have released in a long time. I think they have great quality products, but usually something about them is not my absolute favorite. These are so incredible. I have now used all of them in a look. I also did do a swatch post on Instagram, and I did do cheek swatch video. I will have the links for that in case you want to see all of them applied on my skin. I show you 2 layers of each. I do 1 layer, then I show you how it builds up. Because this is dewy, I would say that it is best to apply this under your powder, but after I set my skin, I did take a little bit more on my brush and just gently like tap it on, and it did not disturb my makeup or break anything up, so that was great news. But I would say, you know, don't do the full blush application over powder. I just don't think it would work the best, because this is not sticky, but there is like a slight tack to it just because of that dew, but it looks like juicy and healthy and so stunning. And I am wearing the deepest color on my cheeks today. This is Berry Sparkler, and I do think that it is such a pretty color. These are just so easy to use. I did use these on my lips, and actually the formula is very nice and soft and smooth, but just with the applicator, with the size of this, I'm sure it is this size to help use it on your lips, but I actually don't think it was that easy to do, especially the top lip. The bottom lip was easy, but I just had to be careful with it. So for me, this is going to be just a cream blush, but I really love them. I love that we have got 2 more neutral shades depending on your skin tone, 2 really bright fun colors, and then like a mauve berry shade, again, depending on your skin tone or what look you're going for. So I think they did a great job with the shade variety, and I love that formula. So that definitely is a huge, huge recommendation. And some of these shades might be exclusive to their site, but they have sales all the time. So definitely make sure that you are signed up for their emails. Next, I have one of the newer shades of the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush Duos. This is the lightest color, not too much. And I was worried this wouldn't show up well enough on my skin tone for my preference, but it definitely does. These are really pigmented and they show up very nicely. This is a product that I have to be careful with. I actually use a sponge with this, but I went in too hard and then it looked crazy, and then I had to basically use my foundation sponge to try to like tame it. So if you have fair to light skin and you're worried about this showing up on you, it should. I think this is a really beautiful color, really pretty undertone. These are just such great quality. They are very pigmented though, so I will say that you need to be careful when using them, but I am really happy that I have that one. Next, we've got some powder blushes. So NARS recently revamped their packaging and brought out a few more shades. I don't know if they changed up the formula or not, but I bought the color Orgasm Edge. You guys know this is definitely my type of shade. It's a matte blush. I find it to be very pigmented, just gorgeous on the skin, and it is nice and long lasting. While it is matte, it doesn't look like super dry. It just is stunning. I'm very happy to have this, and it doesn't necessarily bring something new to my collection, but I also don't always need something new. Well, I do always need something new. I mean, it doesn't have to be different than what I already have. And then I bought the new shades of the Haus Labs blushes. So we have French Rosette and Fire Moon. I think these are gorgeous. They are very pigmented. They're a little bit powdery. They do blend nicely. I love that they redid the packaging, so now we can tell the difference between what shades we have without having to open them or look at the back. The sticker on the back is also color coded, which is great. I agree with everyone that it is really disappointing how much they reduced these. I understand that they probably were not making the most money off of them because we were getting an incredible deal, but it would have been nice if maybe if they still had like a little bit more than what they have now, made it a little bit bigger in comparison to their previous one. But I'm really happy to have these shades. This one still looks really good on my skin tone as well. I was a bit nervous about this, but with a really pretty warm look, I think this will be awesome for summer and fall. Both of them really. I think on my skin tone, this gives like a bit of like a sunburnt coral kind of look. So very happy to have these. Lastly, for cheeks, I have this Pat McGrath Divine Blush and Bronze and Glow Trio in Fleurever Nude. It was from the holiday collection. So we have got Nude Honey Bronzer, which is a permanent shade, Naked Peony Blush, and Opal Allure Highlight. I believe both of these are limited edition exclusive to this palette. It was my first time trying her bronzer, and I would say that this is a bit more on the sheer but buildable side, which I don't mind. I do also apply my bronzer with a stippling brush, so I think for this formula I would like to use something a bit more dense just with my preference for bronzer. But I love that this is more of like a neutral, cool undertone. It went really nice with my makeup today, but doesn't look too gray. I did use it up on my hairline as well. Love the blush, love her highlight formula. Very pigmented. The highlight is very nice and reflective, but is smooth. It doesn't add a ton of texture to the skin, and I just think this is a great quality product. I'm so happy that I got it. Next, from SheGlam, I have the Freck Please Freckle Tint in the shade Fawn. They had a couple different shades to choose from, which is really nice. And this is a brush tip liquid liner applicator with a nice light brown color. And I think that this gave very natural looking freckles on my skin tone. And I still need to play around with this product and just again, my very first time trying faux freckles, so I'm still figuring out what I think looks best as far as placement, how many, but I would say this is pretty easy to use. But because, I mean, it's not like, well, yeah, it's a pretty flimsy applicator, so usually I will try to scrape off the product from the top and just leave the tip loaded, and then I will sort of tap it on, blend it out with my finger, and then I'll go back in to get a fresh application for the other side, just to make sure that I don't end up with like weird shaped or too big of freckles. And I think that this is pretty easy to use, so I'm really excited about that, so I can finally try this trend. Next, I've got two eyeshadow palettes that I tried out this month. First is what I'm wearing today. This is from Ensley. This is a Flower Moon palette, and this is not their newest version. They changed out a few of the colors and the packaging. I'm not sure if the formula has changed at all. I have used most of these shades. I have not used these four yet. I want to. I just keep doing my makeup before work, and I feel like those are not like the most work appropriate, and I need to use these two shades here, but everything else has been used, so I can knock out those last couple looks, I hope. But I've been very impressed with this. I think that all of these shimmers are just so multi-dimensional and gorgeous on the eyes. The mattes are very pigmented, very easy to work with. This shade Bloom here is a little bit more of like a wet consistency, similar to Adept Cosmetics eyeshadow, so I just have to apply that with my finger. But I would say don't go in hard, or you're going to get too much product and then it's going to look a little bit thick on your eye. So that is the only one where I have to sort of apply it a different way, but I think that these are really great. There are too many greens in here. I wish I would have taken out like one or two of these and swapped it with something else, but I am very happy to have this palette. They did change up some of the greens in the new palette, but I think there's still a lot of greens. And then we've got the Lands of Enchantment palette. This is one that I want to bring into next month to get more use out of. And again, this is one where it just wasn't as wearable for me to use on work days. So I will give you more thoughts if I test this more over the next month. But I have not dipped into that many of the lighter pastel shades. I've used this one, and this one, this color here, this color, one of these, and was really impressed with them. Pastels are so hard to formulate, and these were really nice. I really loved the shimmers I tried in here as well. Very smooth, creamy, multi-dimensional, so really impressed with this quality. I really want the Groovy Garden palette from them, but their shipping is so expensive that I either want to wait until a friend wants to place an order with me, or until something else launches that I want from them. The packaging, the shipping is like 10-15 bucks, and they do package a product so well, so it's going to be safe, which is great, and it should be worth it. But I'm like, can we do that for like a couple dollars cheaper? Then just a few more eye products. This is one of the new Persona eyeliners. This is the color Stone, and it is like a really unique metallic shade here. And I feel like it has looked a little bit more cool tone on my eyes, whereas here I can see a little bit more of the warmth. I am not like head over the heels with this shade, but head over heels, I said head over heels for this shade yet. But I just don't think that this really goes with more of my spring makeup looks, but I really do love this formula, so I am happy to have this. And then we have got the e.l.f. Lash Extender Tubing Mascara. This is the brown shade, and this is absolutely fantastic. I love the applicator because I feel like it gives length, and because it's more of a wet formula, I feel like I'm able to get some thickness, some volume as well. And this is something that I definitely plan on buying again in the future in the black shade also. This is a tubing mascara, but I feel like it's pretty easy to get off, which I know that's tubing mascara's shtick, but I don't like the way that they come off because I don't remove my makeup with just water. But this one is super easy to work with. I really like this, and I love this type of brush. Everybody was obsessed with Maybelline Sky High. For me, that wand was a little bit too bendy, and this is nice and firm and so good. So I love the color of this brown mascara. I feel like I can tell that it's brown, so highly, highly recommend this. Then I've got a bunch of lippies. So first was the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Lip Balm in Strawberry Sorbet. I ended up returning this. It was very lightly pigmented, and it was nice and smooth. It was hydrating, but I just did not love that strawberry scent. Something about it was a little bit off for me, so I returned it, but I can see why a lot of people really like it. Something else that I returned before I forget was the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Daylight Delight. Stunning formula. I love how smooth and creamy it is. It is one of my favorite bullet lipstick formulas, but this color was deeper and more orangey base than I thought it was going to be, and I just didn't find it flattering on me. Then for the lip products that I do have, first I have the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Liner and their Kissing Lipstick in Pillow Talk Fair. These are at Ulta as well. This is my first time trying her lip liner, which I know is wild because it's so popular, but I think that this is a very beautiful light pinky, slightly mauve lip liner, and this is a nice formula. I feel like it is creamy, but there's a little bit of like tack to it, which is good because it is going to stay in place better than like a really creamy lip liner like the ColourPop ones. I prefer more of a creamy lip liner because for me it's not necessarily to hold my lip products in. I use a lip liner because my lips are so lightly pigmented. Sometimes I just need that like roadmap of where to fill it in. So this is not necessarily something that I had to have. I do like it. I'm not going to return it, but depends on how much of a lip liner person you are, or if you feel like that would be a perfect shade for you. And then we've got the Kissing Lipstick in Pillow Talk Fair. This is a really nice cream lipstick formula, and this is a little bit thicker. It is very pigmented. There is some shine to here, but it is not a super creamy lipstick. This is like a cream satin mix, which I think is nice. This one is pretty peachy. I would say it's very different from the lip liner, which pulls more pink, but they do go very nicely together. I do think that this is very nice. However, this formula does not blow me away. Like I've said before, I'm incredibly picky about bullet lipstick formulas for some reason, and the way they feel on my lips, and mostly the way that they look on that inner part of my lip. And I think that these are good, not blow my socks off. I want to probably not buy any more because I've got other lipstick formulas I like better, but I am happy to have, and I think that it is super flattering on my skin tone. Next little duo here would be the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Lip Liners and the Plumping Gloss Bombs. I bought 2 of the lip liners and 4 of the gloss bombs. I have not posted it yet, but I will be posting soon a lip swatch video of these because I feel like they show up better on the lips than they do on my hands. So for the lip liner, I do get the sort of like cooling plumping sensation, which is weird from a lip liner. However, Buxom does that as well. This is the color Westwood. It's a really beautiful pinky mauve color, and let me put it right under the Charlotte. Okay, there's a bit more like tan to this pink, and this is a very creamy formula. It's super smooth. It was really easy for me to fill in my lips as well, so I think that a lot of people might not like that. They might find it too creamy. For me, I think it's just fantastic, and I love I don't have to sharpen it. There is the color and the difference between the Pillow Talk Fair. I am really happy with this one. And then for the Plumping Gloss Balm, like I said, I bought 4 shades, and this one here is Vacay Mode, which is like a light everyday pink, and these are very messy, so don't pump up too much. These do have a lot of really glossy shine on the lips. I would say this is not something to leave in your pocket though, or leave in the car, because it's gonna just totally disappear. This does have that cooling sensation on the lips, which I love, and I do think that it is super glossy and shiny, which also makes your lips look fuller. I think this is an amazing formula if you like more of that like minty cooling sensation. I think this is great. Really happy with these and the shades I picked up, and I would love to see them come out with more. Then I decided to be very bougie, and I bought one of the YSL candy glazes. This is in number 15. I will have the name on this. Showcasing Nude. Showcasing Nude. And this is a really beautiful glossy formula. I love the way this looks on the lips. I feel like this is not as pigmented or as creamy as the Make It by Mario. This is slightly stickier, which I think is nice. It's not as goopy, it stays in place a little bit longer, but you still have that really like luscious look, that nice shine. This does have a bit of a fruity scent, which is not my most favorite, but it's not too overpowering, which is great. And this is something that does twist back down, which is amazing. Don't go crazy just in case, but it does come back down. So I don't think I would buy any more of these, but I do feel really happy to have this. Then this is something I think I've reviewed before, but I used it a couple times this past month, so I wanted to make sure I gave my thoughts again if I didn't review it previously. This is the NARS Power Matte Lipstick in Sweet Disposition. This is a really pretty shade, a really pretty pink, and this definitely gives that blotted, blurred type of lip look. It is a matte that has like a bit of like silicone in there, but not in a super slippery way, just like a very comfortable matte. It is not a heavy lipstick. I would say if you're wanting more of a matte look but don't want a heavy feel, that this would be fantastic. I don't think I'm going to buy any other shades, although I do have my eye on American Woman, but I would say that this is a very nice matte lipstick. Then I have a couple of glosses. So I was very tempted to buy one of the Huda Beauty ones, and especially tempted to buy some of the Haus Labs glosses during the Sephora sale, but I only allowed myself to get the Summer Fridays Dream lip oils. I have Blush Dream and Soft Mauve. I'm wearing Soft Mauve today. I'm so glad that I got these because I love this formula. It has like a really nice large doe foot applicator. These do have some pigment to them, but I think like a really like perfect amount for a gloss. And I love this consistency because it is like a gel serum. It feels so smooth on the lips. It is not thin or thick. It's right in the middle. It's just such a comfortable, cushiony gel formula. I absolutely love it. So we have Blush Dreams and then Soft Mauve. There are 4 colors in this lineup, but I'm totally fine with just the 2 I have. I think these are similar but different undertones, but definitely very wearable shades for me. So really recommend this. And it does hang on your lips a little bit longer than like a Tower 28 gloss, but probably not as long as a Lawless gloss, but there is no stick whatsoever. Oh, I love it. I hope they release more shades in the future. And then lastly, I have the Physicians Formula Butter Tinted Lip Conditioner. It comes in 3 shades. I have the color Pink Paradise. These still have not come to Ulta, so I ended up buying it from Target. You have, oh, I love this sort of applicator because it holds products on both sides. And this is a little bit of a thicker formula. There's a little bit of tack to it, but it still does not feel sticky, and it feels very smooth on the lips. I feel like it hangs around for a good amount of time. I really love this color. It is like a, I want to say like a pinky coral, a pinky peach type of shade. It's a warm pink, very beautiful. At first I was put off by the scent, but the more I've used it, I've gotten used to it. This is like a coconutty scent. It reminds me of the K-Skin lip balm. It's like a very, very sweet coconut, which, like I said, threw me off at first. It wasn't my favorite, but I've gotten used to it. And I would say this is not my favorite gloss of all time. I don't need to buy more shades, but this is a very nice formula. It gives some beautiful shine. I think this would be a really nice summer lip product because, again, not super sticky, but it does stay in place, and this is a really pretty shade. So very impressed with that as well. So those are my thoughts on all of the many, many products that I tried this past month, but I feel really good about a lot of these things, and I'm very happy to have them in my collection, get more use out of them. I would love to hear your thoughts if you've tried these products, and I would love to know what things you tested out this month and what your thoughts were on them. I want to thank y'all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.